Hello, welcome to Moviemusters, Power Book 3, Raising Kanan in Sheep's Clothing, a review of Season 3 Episode 4. Recall last week when I warned you that Ronnie would be problematic. Yes, indeed. It's becoming quite evident that Ronnie may get into trouble with his brother and anyone who stands in his way due to his unwavering focus on getting back into the game and his refusal to take any disrespect. We've learned that Ronnie is on a mission and that nobody is safe if anything from Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 3 Episode 4. Office Visit, Episode 4 of Season 3 of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. Ronnie's somber and reserved demeanor has always struck us as odd and unsettling. But in recent weeks, we've begun to witness the violence concealed behind his stillness. It would be perfectly acceptable for you to call him a silent assassin since that is exactly what he is. He doesn't speak much, but when he does, it's meaningful and valuable. His strikes are quiet but just as lethal. Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Quiet Ronnie, Season 3 Episode 4. Since coming back to the city, Ronnie has been biding his time. But after witnessing Unique with Rack, he has run out of patience. It doesn't seem like Ronnie Mathies is a man who understands logic. He perceives what is in front of him and responds appropriately. He's been informed by Unique that Rack and other players are eliminated from the game. But he doesn't seem to care or is unwilling to accept it. It's clear he still considers Rack to be a danger, someone he ought to have dealt with years ago. And because he sees her that way, he has grouped Unique in with her and made the decision to go behind his back in order to start his own company. Although Ronnie's goal is admirable, his lack of consideration before acting could ultimately backfire on him because he is interacting with a specific demographic. Unfriendly Meeting, Episode 4 of Season 3 of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. Consider Deen as an example. Even though Ronnie tried to scare him when she entered his zone, he quickly informed Unique so that he wouldn't even bother him in that way any longer. In the end, it cost Deen his life, but more importantly, it revealed to Unique what was going on behind his back. He instructed Ronnie to relax and wait for his scheme to work. But Ronnie went off and did his own thing. When will Unique learn about Pop and Snaps? What would happen? Even worse, if he discovers that Ronnie saw Juliana and Joaquin. It seems likely that Ronnie will eventually find herself in the orbit of Rack and Kanan. Based on the conclusion of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 3 Episode 3. Possibly in the near future. However, it appears that Unique and Ronnie should be facing off right now as it's clear that these two are never on the same page and only getting further apart. Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 3 Episode 4, New Moves. I don't think it escaped me that Ronnie admitted to Joaquin and Juliana that if Unique was a problem, they could handle it. Ronnie is more than happy to blame his brother. Furthermore, Ronnie probably doesn't know how to joke, thus he meant that fully. And there's the entire Unique thing criticizing Ronnie. And Ronnie turns red at the first sign of slight. What do you know? Ronnie, you ain't shit. You're not a loser. Special permalink, what do you know? Ronnie, you ain't shit. You're not a loser. Since this rivalry will help Ronnie become more fully realized and solidified as the next big bad, I might support it. Not every season calls for a fully formed villain. However, there must be some sort of opposition coming from someplace. Rack and Kanan can't always have all they desire. Nobody is able to. Who would want to watch a show in which everyone gets what they want and nothing goes wrong? Profound Reflection, Strength Book 3, Bringing Up Kanan, Season 3 Episode 4. It will be interesting to watch what Ronnie does with the wealth and influence he might acquire if he can find his way. Does he surpass Unique? Does this mean that even if she's not looking for him, he still looks to take Rack out? Now that Ronnie has taken a big step forward, there are several options here. Major changes aside, Rack Thomas is completely insane. Perhaps she hasn't gone insane, but she has undoubtedly made up her mind to stop at nothing to keep Kanan safe, which would be admirable in any other situation where she wasn't deliberately lying to him and trying to control him at the same time. If given enough time, trying to dissect Rack's motivations and either validate or refute them might be a worthwhile investigation. However, I worry that the majority would reach the same conclusion, that she is pushing her son farther and farther away even as she is shielding him. Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Making Money, Season 3 Episode 4. Rack adores Kanan. That has never been debatable and it never will be. Although she wishes to keep him safe, the truth is that she put Kanan in danger as soon as she agreed to the life. Since he's older and has experienced life, Kanan has only raised his profile and placed himself in risky situations. As an extension of her, he could become collateral damage at any time. Nevertheless, regardless of age or situation, a mother will always put her child's safety first. However, Rack has consistently demonstrated a lack of concern for Kanan's intelligence and feelings by placing him in situations that work against his protection. This season, Kanan appeared to be truly at ease in a position where his business was flourishing. This was the first time he saw Rak, and he's determined to leave Rak's shadow and work on his own. Watching Kanan and Jukebox go out to dinner and give themselves an evening to celebrate and indulge was a brief but memorable scene. They got to feel happy, even if it was just for a single night, and they got to share that happiness with someone they loved. Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 3 Episode 4, Meeting with Paul. Rak had to come along and destroy things, of course. By hiding the gun in his backpack, she encourages Rak to rely on her even if all he wants is for Kanan to return home. Kanan, that gun isn't mine, mama. Rak, Kanan, why would I ever trust you? You no longer reside at home. You made some new pals. We don't even exchange words. Since I don't even know you, I find it hard to believe you. Permalink, Kanan, why would I ever trust you? You no longer reside at home. You made some new pals. Additionally, in the principal's office, Rak was someone else entirely, using every tactic known to express her displeasure. To be honest, Rak deserves every medal for the performance she put on, even though Kanan was unaware that she was in the background. Rak may not have known exactly how things would work out, but she was aware that she could make Kanan come home, and she really did just that. Rak does what she wants and deals with the consequences afterward, so none of her actions are shocking at this point. However, putting her trust in Famous to keep his mouth shut was maybe her worst mistake. Episode 4 of Season 3 of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Famous reacts. Watching a prequel narrative like this raises a lot of interesting concerns, including how well-known characters like Kanan and Jukebox become the ones we know. However, there are also unanswered questions regarding the new personalities we are getting to know. Outside of Jukebox, Famous has been Kanan's closest friend since Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 1. Even though they have always supported one another, this season has seen the beginning of their fissures. And if Kanan discovers he knew about the gun, getting paid off by Rak might be the thing that ends their relationship. My intuition tells me that Kanan will ultimately find out, and if that were to occur, I could totally see Kanan losing it. Because even though Rak made a move that he probably wouldn't have been surprised by, knowing that Famous's silence could be bought would destroy him. Rak had to break up with Unique since Kanan was returning home, which makes sense, but their romance was really only getting started. Though I won't pretend to be in love with them or anything, there was a great deal of respect and adoration between them. Famous money offered by Rak, Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 3 Episode 4. Their mutual enjoyment was evident, and what I found most intriguing was how honest and transparent they were with each other. There was a line of trust between them that allowed them to share a lot, even though they weren't disclosing all of their deepest feelings and secrets. Rak literally has no one without that. Not really. Even if Kanan is at home, relocating won't make him feel any different about Rak, especially because it will keep him from working on the company he founded. She also has Jukebox and Marvin, but they have other things to do with their time now. Even though the hour concluded with a murder, Jukebox becoming the girl band and Marvin and Lulu becoming a partnership made it hopeful in other ways. My whole goal is for Lulu to find happiness outside of Rak. To ensure that the Café Vu's plot isn't disconnected from the rest of the series, I hope they keep integrating Lulu with the family in other ways. Listening in, Episode 4 of Season 3 of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. Lulu made a wise decision in bringing Marvin on board since, between them, they have more money to invest and can truly mold the club into what they envision. It's an investment in the future for the entire family. Will Marvin now honor his pledge to maintain cleanliness in the club? Like Marvin mentioned, I have my worries because it would be so simple to utilize the club to promote a product. Additionally, Marvin occasionally crosses his head with things. In other places, Howard is frantically attempting to assist both Kanan and himself. However, the most significant thing he accomplished in that hour was to set limits with Rak. For the guys in Rak's life this season, it's been a matter of popularity. They're attempting to escape Rak's evil web by attempting to get some space from her. Howard has demonstrated his willingness to support Kanan, but Rak adds a degree of instability that is too much for him to bear. Everything additional you should know. Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 3 Episode 4, Marvin Outside. There was no denying Juliana's curiosity in what Ronnie had to offer. Would she make a deal without telling Joaquin? The band's jukebox was such a sweet moment. Right now, everything with her is coming together, but I'm anxious to see it all come crashing down. Pop and Snaps created a fantastic first impression. Even though they're out of the game, they gave up money after a 5-minute talk, so I predict they'll be right in the middle of things going forward. Episode 4 of Season 3 of Howard at Work, Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. Gerald is going to aid Café Vu's with his role as editor of that magazine, isn't he? It was terrifying to see Deen's murder as his grandma was seated in the adjacent room. It's crazy that Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 3 is already halfway through its season, and there are a ton of ongoing storylines at the moment. As the season goes on, I anticipate great things, and I'm eager to hear your opinions on this hour and what's to come. Thus, kindly share your thoughts with me in the comments section. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.